What if I told you that a Republican chairman decided to waterboard his own teenage daughter? Put him up for a mass. That's according to the allegation and the report before us. A GOP chair has been arrested for waterboarding his teen daughter. A Utah Republican leader has been arrested for waterboarding his 16-year-old child. Why? Because her room was not clean enough. This is 54-year-old David Johnson, chair of the Wasatch County GOP. It's a county GOP outfit. David was booked into the county jail on one count of first-degree felony aggravated child abuse. According to court documents, the arrest came after the Utah Division of Child Safety and Family Services received a report of child abuse. The teen reported not feeling safe in her own home and feared for her life. Now, I want to say to the Utah authorities, they're actually doing their jobs, okay? They don't deserve a hero cookie for it. They're doing their jobs. But compare that to the story we had last week of the MAGA father who shot and killed his 23-year-old daughter inside of his home, and the grand jury decided not to indict. He said it was a mistake. Another court out of the country where his daughter actually lived, she was visiting in America, in Texas, they had to rule it foul play. That what he did was actually reckless and illegal based on their investigation of the same crime. When Johnson was arrested, he was being held without bail, but during his initial court appearance on Thursday, his bail was changed to $10,000, and he was released from jail after posting bail. How much is $10,000? That's $1,000. Maybe $1,500, because you only pay 10 to 15% of the overall bail through a bonding company. There's more to the story. In an arrest statement, the responding detective wrote that the victim had come home from spending time with friends, and Johnson was upset because she, quote, didn't completely clean her room, end quote. He allegedly grabbed her by the back of the neck and threw her into the bathroom. Johnson then filled the sink with water and, quote, this is on the official report, dunked her head under, brought it out, splashed water in her face, then dunked, end quote, her head again. The victim told law enforcement she could not breathe for 20 to 30 seconds at a time. The 16-year-old victim also disclosed abuse involving other younger family members, including an incident several years ago where a now 8-year-old was brought into the bathroom and had his head forced into a sink of water repeatedly. Quote, when he's home, I never feel safe because I feel like something is going to happen, end quote. The 16-year-old said this directly to the police. She also disclosed being hit by Johnson more than once and stated that he made fun of me crying. While the victim was being interviewed, Johnson was allegedly captured on an outside surveillance camera yelling, quote, we have rights, getting into his vehicle and slamming the door while 2 children were inside. The victim was temporarily placed with a different adult relative after the Utah Division of Child and Family Services responded to the incident. The other children have a safety plan in place that no physical discipline may be used. So the other children are there. The daughter, she has another relative who hopefully would do the right thing and continue to provide safety for that child. But there are children still around this individual who possibly could be unsafe as well. The county Republican Party had an emergency meeting Wednesday on the 11th of February. After the arrest of its chairperson, the party's vice chair would temporarily lead the group. In a statement Wednesday, party leaders said they are, quote, deeply concerned and troubled by the nature of the allegations. It also encourages locals to refrain from judgment until the case is adjudicated. He's set to appear in the 4th District Court for a preliminary hearing on March 11th. We will follow and bring you the update to what happens. I want to say this. It takes a lot for a woman who's being abused to tell the truth on someone they love. You can't imagine what it takes for a daughter to have to do that to her father. And you let him out on $1,000. The courage that it took for the 16-year-old to speak up to what she believed to be safety in the authorities, finally telling her story, articulating the facts, telling someone the truth about her experiences and the experiences of others in that household. And he's out. Still aggressive, still yelling, "We got rights." He's out. Sometimes you have to mitigate on what you understand as a right. Because in this situation, you have, according to the allegation, the rights of a 16-year-old being significantly violated. Her rights are of the utmost importance as well. And one right that she has is the right of liberty, the pursuit of happiness. All right, dear brother, thoughts here.
There are a few things that come to mind. First, you see how broken our judicial system is. And I can't help but think if in that same part of Utah, I believe, if a person of color was arrested for a mugging or some, shoplifting, would they receive that same lenient treatment?
That's
I'd
right.
say no.
That's
This
right.
person had political power and influence in that area. They're white and they're male. Those are all things that are treated differently in our judicial system. And the irony here, this is, you scream, we have rights. I looked up that county Republican Party's social media accounts to see what kind of stuff were they talking about. And they're talking about limited government, freedom, family. I mean, what you're torturing a member of your family, a child. If this same thing happened, not the same thing. If some minor purported infraction occurred in a classroom in Brooklyn where a student was, hit on the wrist with a ruler, and that teacher was trans, or that teacher was even just nominally liberal, the right would have a prolonged meltdown. Libs of TikTok would be working overtime to get that person fired. Where is that same outcry here when the chair of the Republican Party in that county literally tortured his daughter for not cleaning her room properly? What are we doing here? I mean, if you really care about protecting children like you say you do, you would apply the same scrutiny and standard here, but they won't.
Well said. And the irony of utilizing the technique of waterboarding, which was, frankly, in the public space, a Republican cover-up, even though some Democrats were down with that too. For him to adopt such a tactic that has been deemed to be unethical, illegal, violating rights, on top of being the chairman of the GOP, it's insane.